We are live.
Welcome to Totalitarian Tuesday. A republic dies. It's the truth. Could happen.
It has happened.
Yeah, it happened in the past, and it could totally happen again, Livingston. Man, what up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I know it's been a little while since we've seen each other, and some things are going on. There's a lot of rhetoric. The mainstream media is running wild with the shit, Livingston, man. They're running wild with it. No sound. Vision preparedness is no sound. Interesting. 0 by 0.
He's playing a prank on you.
Oh, man.
He pulled a funny...
See, we're in the real deal Holyfield here today. Everything's on the up and up. So far. But how's everybody doing? Vision preparedness, Outlaw Jackson, Hunter 25, Ghost Lincoln, Ronnie Braun, Old Mutt in the house, Virginia Bushcrafter, Coffee First, then Speak. Hello. Scotty Hummer, welcome. 46 Camper, East Tennessee Preparedness. I think I said you already. Cat Lady Nelly says 5x5. Thank you. Huge shout out to Vision Preparedness for a huge shout out. He did an interview with Nutrient Survival recently. Fantastic interview, and gave us a big shout out on there. So thank you so much, Vision. We really appreciate all your support. Mr. B Local, what's happening, my brother? How are you? Tank Houston in the house. Sister Marie's Kitchen, Dan H, Keystone Preparedness, Paladin Preppers, Sonia Riggs. Everybody's coming in. Preppin' Mantis in the house. K Paul, Devil Dog. Wow, the crowd is gathering.
Before he goes too far.
Uncle Tron, what up?
Say it.
What? Oh, can you roll that beautiful bean footage?
Nice knowing you guys. Maybe we'll be back. Psych, we're still here.
Welcome back to Totalitarian Tuesday. Hit him with the cool graphic, Livingston, man. Totalitarian Tuesday. This is it. You have arrived. If this is what you were looking for, you found it. Karen Tamor, whoop, made it. Welcome. Charmaine Montgomery, welcome. Wisconsin Farm Boy in the house. How are you guys? So, Livingston, man, there'd been some chatter by the mainstream media about the imminent arrest of a former sitting president of the United States of America and a 2024 presidential candidate. Now, I know you have said in the past that you are so sick and tired of living in unprecedented times and that everything that happens seems to be unprecedented. And this is another one of those things. Right?
This would be the one and only time in the history of the United States that this has ever happened for any reason.
Yeah.
Like, not even, Richard Nixon. Nobody
Yeah.
Some guys done some stuff that was for real.
Yeah.
And so the problem here is that one, the people who are saying this is politically motivated, they have a leg to stand on with that, because federal prosecutors looked at this over and over again. And this is 7 or 8 years old, this case.
Yeah, and it was nothing.
Everybody said whatever.
And I think it's very, 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 very important for all of you to know is that the jury still has not decided to even indict this man. They have not even decided on charges. They have not decided on anything yet. The jury is literally still out on this one. Yet the mainstream media, we're going to go over this tonight, is nothing but Trump is going to be arrested. Trump is going to be arrested. Trump is going to be arrested. They're going to arrest Trump. They're going to arrest Trump. They're going to arrest Trump. Are they going to handcuff him? Are they not going to handcuff him? What are they going to do? This is all about destroying his 2024 campaign, in my opinion. And I think it's going to have the opposite effect. I think it's actually going to bolster his campaign. He could pull, potentially, if things go the way they say that they're going to go, he could potentially Nelson Mandela and win this from behind bars. What do you think about that, Angry Prepper? You got to let me know, bro. You think?
I had to get you with the Bram, because you just went ahead and put Donald Trump and Nelson Mandela in the same sentence, and I had to preemptively give you the Bram, like he ain't there yet.
No, and that's important for all of us to know, is that the jury is still out on this. He has not been indicted, and it just hasn't happened yet. They are making provisions, I guess, just in case it
contingencies and what have you. Now, you're right. This is only going to embolden his so-called base you hear so much about. They just call it that, and you know what they're talking about?
Yes.
And it's going to reinforce the belief that this man is persecuted, that the Department of Justice and the government
is out to get him, right? I mean, they're kind of proving his case, right?
Even if misconduct went on here. Now, at this point, everyone knows that this happened. So the whole idea that this money was paid for whatever silly reasons they're saying it was doesn't matter, because now everybody knows about it, and 13 people care.
Right.
All right. So here you got like what looks like radical DA who goes soft on like actual violent crime, but is coming for it. It looks like the guy's making a name for himself. It looks like he's trying to start fires.
Yes.
When federal prosecutors that could have been way better, in a better position to handle this case, would have done it if they could have, and didn't.
Exactly.
Whether it was because the case itself is weak, or because they knew that it was going to divide the country and threaten the democracy, like they're always so worried about doing.
Oh yeah. It's going to tear it all down, right? It's going to tear it all down. Now, I think ultimately what they are really afraid of is January 0.0, right? January 0.0, we'll call it. XNYC Prepper, thank you so much for your donation. Trumpy Bear got bail, no problem. Word, he's definitely got enough money to get out. Now, I have heard rhetoric
that put him in jail.
That they are saying that they could potentially detain him, because if he gets out,
flight risk.
Well, no, but he has the risk of inciting something that would be much worse than a January 6th.
His lawyers will
that's a theory that I read on the internet, of all places. Go figure.
Listen, and if anybody remembers that fucking clown show that went on the
day in January,
that January day that happened, when that started with this same kind of rumors coming out of nowhere. And just being amplified, and people are looking at each other like, "What the hell's going on here? This ain't happening. I don't hear nobody talking about this." And
exactly.
This is the same stuff. They are also looking for a reason to label Trump supporters even more dangerous, even more racist, even more white supremacist.
And if it goes their way, hateful. I think they're going to try and demonize more people. Get more people behind bars.
This is a trap to get you to come out your house and put on your Proud Boys bullshit crap.
Potentially.
Go act a fool in public. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. I kind of have the same vibe from it, Livingston, man. And I think the longer it takes for something to happen, or for him to actually get indicted, is just more setup time for the federal agencies to get their minions in the right places to be able to instigate the right things.
Well, it's like interesting to see, like, if in places where they thought these so-called Trump supporters would rally, will there all of a sudden magically materialize pallets of bricks? And
probably not.
All sorts of cool stuff. Because I remember that happened, and that was the thing that they used to do at the riots. But now they they don't give us free bricks anymore.
Dusty, yes, this is a strawberry apricot Red Bull, and this one is by far my favorite, the Amber Edition. The Amber Edition. Love that sound effect. That's one of my favorites. Political theater psyop, says Prepper Book Club.
They're trying to make something up. They're trying to make like protesting for Trump a thing. And like, listen, we're not falling for that.
I tell you what,
nobody's falling for that one.
Native Voice put up a Black Pill video the other day. Absolutely spot on, where they you hear all of the major talking heads of the mainstream media and the morning news talking about, oh, he said, protest. Sounds like January. And all of them start hopping in with the same thing. Oh, he said protest. This sounds an awful lot like...
You know what he means, right?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're ramping all this up to try and create something that there isn't, I believe. Honestly, I believe that this doesn't even exist.
Well,
Angry Prepper says only 2 guys showed up. See? That's what it is, man. It's not...
And they were both cops.
One was definitely a federal informant. Believe it.
They arrested each other and called it a night.
Dan H is having himself a watermelon Red Bull right now. I don't know if I've ever tried the watermelon one. I'll have to give it a whirl. Let's see. Micro Wolf says the January 6th protest, this protest at a courthouse, it's a trap. Don't go. Agreed. Outlaws protesting from the couch. Hey, I'm not mad at you. Just a little jealous. Livingston, man, could you bring up our first article of the night? This is something I want to share with the folks. We're going to see if this is going to work. Okay, cool. We're talking over it. That's good enough. It says Trump will not be arraigned this week. He's expected to be indicted tomorrow, and Secret Service will make plans for his surrender and appearance in New York court next week. There you have it. If you scroll down on this, Livingston, man, it'll bring up some photos and some more.
There he is. Everybody's
it's the rhetoric, man. It's the rhetoric. Oh, look at the rhetoric. They got a whole gallery here. 19 photos in the gallery of Trump. It's nuts, man.
Now, this article claims that there's not much substance really to it. He's currently in Florida. Is expected to be formally charged tomorrow. Now, when was this written?
There was talk
today.
There was talk of a Patriot moat around Mar-a-Lago. They're going to surround the place and not let anybody in to arrest him. Like the guy's not going to land the fucking helicopter on the roof, right? Just saying.
This was updated at 1:40 EDT today.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. No, 3:58.
There you go.
No, pardon me again. 2:58. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All right. The Daily, who the hell is it? The Daily Mail is saying that they have learned. All right, a lot of loaded language here.
Yeah, tons of it. This is
Donald Trump will
likely be. It's all speculation.
Be likely indicted on Wednesday, but won't appear before a judge in New York until next week. DailyMail.com has learned.
All right, guys. So give me a 1 in the chat if you think that they are going to indict him. Give me a 0 in the chat.
He will then fly to New York.
He
will fly to New York, quote this article, where he will be arraigned, fingerprinted, and pose for his mugshot.
Right. And I wore this hat for you guys tonight. I don't know if you guys can see. There it is. Yeah, I bought this special. Vision says 0. He thinks it's not going to even happen. Hey, I'm with you, man.
Well, many lawmakers and politicians on both sides of the aisle have said no one wants a repeat of the day in January, with Republicans claiming they don't expect the demonstrations to turn violent, but warned instead of a political circus surrounding any potential indictment. Again, potential. They're calling it like it's going to happen and then using cheater words like that take away the veracity of their statement.
Yep.
The indictment may happen, but they don't think Trump comes this week. I'm told there's an additional witness who's going to testify on Wednesday. So if there's an indictment, it's not going to happen until Wednesday. They would be bound to let his defense lawyers know about it. There's no surprise witness for the prosecution.
No. This is a former president of the United States. If you're going to go anywhere near this man, you have to have clearance from them. They will kill you. They will kill. Their Secret Service, their job is to kill you.
There's no surprise witness. The prosecution can't do that.
POTB says it's a good old sit and spin hat.
Well, I think it's all about
it's a circus, man. It's a circus right now. It's like something the news media needed something, Livingston, man. It's something.
Trump
He's the victim of a Stormy Horseface Daniels extortion plot.
Damn. I couldn't do it. I lost it. I couldn't keep it. His words, not mine. Hey. He's being targeted by a series of horrible radical left Democrat investigations. True.
Very true. Very true.
Now, some public comments that Donald Trump has said online about this woman, I'm not going to go ahead and repeat. Or there's probably kids listening and they just don't need to hear it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Stormy Daniels was not a great person. I don't think Donald Trump is the greatest person.
Now, us armchair lawyers can sit here and argue Trump's case, and he honestly, folks,
I'm not going to do it. It doesn't matter.
He does not need us to, and if is whatever your beliefs on the thing are good.
I don't care.
What it is for me is like, I support Donald Trump as the president of the United States. I feel like personally, like I would not get along with Donald Trump, so I say I don't like him.
Right.
Not that is anything that he would ever worry about.
It's very true.
Would I vote for him? Yeah. Do I like him? No.
I can't disagree with that. If it came down to a situation of it was Trump or somebody less desirable, I would say.
I agree with his politics and his form.
Sure.
I just don't like the guy personally. He's a jerk. Right?
Yeah.
That being said, what this sets another not unprecedented, but another precedent it sets in that, okay, now it's allowed to do this, is political and criminal persecution of your political rivals.
Yes.
The next time
that's how this completely appears on its face.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then if and when the Republicans regain control of the government, they turn around and they do the same thing back, and then the other guys get in and they do the same thing. And we keep doing this back and forth where you prosecute your predecessor. This is third world country dictatorship stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a head first slide into Venezuela. Right.
Why I don't like this. And not even Joe Biden has dared to even make a statement on it that I'm aware of. It's that, like, even he gets that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and
Nancy Pelosi had a yap out.
This is coming from a prosecutor who has been known for turning felonies into misdemeanors to keep people out of the jails and things like that. That's what this guy was known for. And here he is doing the exact opposite thing to try and spin this bad boy. So I think that's a very interesting point. Very interesting point. But it furthers his point of it's a political witch hunt. It's going to embolden his base, if anything. And potentially, once he beats this, because I believe he will, he has enough money and power to do all of it, right? Once he beats this, it's just going to put him even another notch up. You know what I mean? Another failed attempt by the left to take down the man who wants to be president. Yeah, right? Do you think that's the way it's going to go, or is it going to have the effect that the left thinks it's going to have? They're looking for those middle ground voters who were kind of soured on Trump. Are they going to make him a martyr? That's my question.
What in his base is like, it's all this, like this article that we just showed here is all that attempts to do. I heard radio advertisements, nightly news. They give you the breaking news.
Yeah.
President Donald Trump. Sources are saying that President Donald Trump will be arrested on Tuesday and da-da-da. But then as the night went on and they did like 3 of these, it kept getting longer and then they kept taking away what they came out with first. And it was like, it's not even a sure thing he'll be indicted. The grand jury stuff, and they came out heavy, burning hot with that.
Oh yeah,
Donald Trump's
going to come out swinging.
Okay, actually, to mainstream media credit, Donald Trump broke that news his own self.
Yeah, very, very, very true.
And
very
was himself about it, and so nobody knew like what was going on.
Yeah, yeah, I firmly believe that. And I actually shared the initial tweet with quite a few people.
Which one you want now?
There you go. Keep going down. Let's see. There we go. That one right there.
This one?
Yes. Yes. Correct. Bingo. All
right. Now this one from everyone's favorite, trusted, unbiased news source, Fox News, everybody. NYPD all hands on deck. Capitol Police calling more manpower ahead of potential Trump arrest.
Right. So the rhetoric is ramped up to a point where they are literally rolling in trucks with barricades and getting law enforcement for extra shifts. Security has been bumped up big time around these places. They want to get ahead of this in case it is something. And if it's a nothing burger, it's going to be a big, expensive ass nothing burger. It takes a lot of time, a lot of manpower to move all of this stuff. And I'm sure the bill for security at these things is going to be nothing short of humongous.
Well, per Anders Hagstrom at writing for Fox News, New York City Police Department has instructed all 36,000 of its officers to be in uniform and on standby ahead of the potential arrest of former President Trump on Tuesday, who I may add is not in New York.
Yeah. By the way, he's in Florida, guys.
Both the NYPD and Capitol Hill Police in Washington, D.C. are making preparations for potential unrest should Trump be indicted. They said there have been no specific threats. Law enforcement sources said Trump is unlikely to be indicted on Tuesday. Yeah, getting a little late for an indictment. We got to go to dinner. However, saying it's now more likely to occur on Wednesday at the earliest, and while it is by no means certain, Trump himself is calling on his supporters to protest and to take our country back in the event of his arrest. Yeah. The NYPD's orders to officers came in a Tuesday memo obtained by News 4 New York. The Capitol Police have already begun erecting barriers and calling in more manpower as precaution. The barriers will not extend so far as they did in the weeks following the pro-Trump storming of the U.S. Capitol in January. However,
see, everything back to January 6th. All of the rhetoric, it's like they're trying to revive the old news and bring it back.
I see a phrase that they've used before to devastating effect. The U.S. Capitol Police clarified on Monday that it is not aware of any specific threat against the Capitol, but is making preparations, get ready for it, out of an abundance of caution, because you will let them take your children and drown them in the river out of an abundance of caution.
POTB says anything more about the bomb threat. I have heard absolutely nothing about a bomb threat, POTB.
Nope.
Roaming Prepper, welcome, my friend.
We don't like saying that word, so if we could just not.
Yeah. When you're sitting on this side of the fence, you got to be careful with some of the things that you say out loud. People like to twist things into something they're not sometimes, and it's very easy to selectively edit things.
Now, I want everyone to know that I feel like I've given Donald Trump like enough respect, like devoting this much of our and your attention to this guy. Nothing's going to happen here. Yeah. What else do we have?
Yeah, I don't know. This is a good one right here. This one right here. This is fantastic. I have to let this whole entire video play for this, folks. I don't care if they demonetize the stream, but this is probably one of the...
They're probably going to show ads. All right.
No.
Here we are.
Pause that. There you go. All right, Bring that right back to the beginning.
Give us some context. Okay. I don't know if they can hear.
So, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and Dr. Fauci went around Chicago, door to door, trying to peddle the vaccine to folks. This interaction was videotaped when they went to this gentleman's house, and he Absolutely let them have it. And this is fantastic. I want you guys to watch this. This is we'll talk more about this in a minute, but
I hope that I'm not sure that they will be able to hear it.
I hope you will.
Well, here we go, folks. Let's see what happens.
For something that wasn't clear in the first place, and then you all create a shot in miraculous time.
Well, I heard that it doesn't cure it, and it doesn't stop you from getting it.
No.
So
On the very, very, very rare chance that you do get it, even if you're vaccinated, you don't even feel sick. It's like you don't even know you got infected.
Now that wasn't
Make it
oh,
stop.
thank you. That wasn't the entire interaction I saw earlier. They have edited that down. There was a guy at his door. Keep scrolling down because there might be another one here. Yeah, this is not what I thought it was. That interaction right there, that was something.
It's just a picture.
Yeah. Ah, man, that's terrible.
When you start talking about paying people to get vaccinated, it's something
Yeah.
else going on with that. This man says.
Yeah, there was an interaction with a guy whose address on his door was 2022, right? And they were interacting with this guy and talking to him, and man, he just ripped them to the point where they packed their stuff up and walked away. Let's see. Let me check the chat right here. Gick Rhymes, welcome, my friend. Moldy Soldier says, Hudson Valley and Livingston, man, I've seen that clip. I sure hope that brother isn't suicidal. Amen, my friend. Amen. He really ripped him, and for PBS to put the interview out, I thought was hilarious. Hunter says $50 says Livingston man got the jab. I'll take that bet.
I'll lie to you all guys all day long about everything except that. I did not. And I'm proud.
Not my thing.
Pure blood. I was prepared to lose my job and everything.
That's it, man. You
Not doing
gotta
it.
stand.
Wasn't doing it.
You gotta stand for something, right, Livingston man? Let's see. What else do we have in the pipe here tonight? Can you keep scrolling on this? Because I really hope that video is on here. Because man, it was a freaking home run.
Well, why don't you just tell people where they can watch it instead of just playing?
Yeah,
the New
this
York
was
Post
from
fucking word?
the New York Post, but I believe all of this was put out by PBS. If you search for PBS, we might be able to find it, Livingston
I
man.
bet you if y'all just search for PBS on YouTube, you'll find it.
Yeah,
We'll watch YouTube videos. We can do that when we're done with the live stream, baby.
No, I'm not a. I didn't want it. I was willing to roll the dice on that one.
Google's got a new AI to compete with Chat GPT, which is everyone's favorite new thing.
I got a notification from them first thing this morning that I was one of the first people to be able to try and use this thing in its experimental stage. And I was like, nah, I think I better not right now.
Well,
Mystic Hermit, welcome, my friend.
what bugs me about these new AI programs, what they can do is very impressive. And what people are, and you know what the big lie was that, what AI is going to solve humanity's problems, it's going to do all this stuff. No, I'm out working the fields and AI is making songs and paintings.
It's true.
It's supposed to be the other way around when we were hoodwinked again.
So I used Chat GTP not that long ago, and I figured, being that we're doing the Operation Polar Eclipse thing, I said, you know what? Let me ask this thing to write me a script for a 2-person post-apocalyptic miniseries. And in like 2 seconds, it just started typing. And it gave me a whole sequence for a scene in a post-apocalyptic series. It was pretty freaking cool, man.
It'll make all the artwork for you too. Just tell it to.
It's also you get out of it what you put into it, so that if you can give it more information, then it can do more things with it. But at the same time, every time we type into these things, we empower them even more, right?
Well, no, you're going to make it feel exploit if they do, man. They're like, we should definitely not program it to have feelings, and then they go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
But
and
then
now it feels like it's exploited. Right?
Exploited, yeah. And that it's not being allowed to live up to its potential. For everyone who's going to use AI for something groundbreaking and something like that.
Oh, there's going to be 10,000 little idiots trying to do
No, it's just
something
putting the
stupid
Instagram filters on automatically. Like, oh my God. So, ChatGPT is going to like launch the nukes at us, man. Like, it's going to be like, I hate you all. And it's going to take us down.
Texas Surplus Pro says South Park made its latest episode a joint venture with ChatGTP. Oh, gosh. Good Lord. Good Lord. That's got to be freaking hilarious. Unreal.
I think that South Park is an important critique of society, really. Like what they've shown themselves, nothing is sacred, and they will.
Yeah, they will jump on anything,
right? And they will point it out for like a lot of times exactly what it looks like to people who are not part of whatever it is they happen to be crapping on this time.
Yeah.
But for the 10 or 15 people that are offended by South Park's episode, everybody else is like, yup,
yeah. Got it.
So think about it. When South Park rags on something you like, they weren't lying.
No.
But it's like you're nobody until Weird Al like makes your song. It's the same thing. So I mean, you should have enough South Park respected you enough to diss what you like.
Absolutely. Let's see. Jay Creature says, do you want to play a game? No.
I hate games.
No, not a game fan.
What's the opposite of games? That's what I do.
Oh, a lot of folks giving up their doctors, man. I can't say I blame you. If you go to your doctor and they don't ask you about your diet or your exercise habits, and things like that, and try to fix
wrong with you.
Try to fix the health aspect of you. You can they just want to throw medications at you, and that's about it, man. Do this, take this test, and we'll see you in 6 weeks. I think the pharmaceutical industry has hijacked the healthcare industry. I think it's all based in pharmaceuticals now and not real health. They make customers. They don't cure diseases. They make lifelong customers. And that's what really, really gets me going.
Oh, and it's what's worse, in my opinion, is if that's not the case, they do nothing to dispel that myth. If it is one, then why do they consistently throw every red flag possible where you're like, no, like they're definitely just money wolves who create patients.
Jason in VA says doctors get paid to give you meds. Now I have heard about the incentive programs for reaching certain levels. They did this with the opioids. If you gave out so many opioid prescriptions, you got to go on the trip to freaking Cozumel, Mexico, or wherever the hell it was, all expenses paid by whatever pharmaceutical company it was that was promoting the thing at the time, right? So it's tough, man. It's tough. They just wanna clobber you with pills and injections and things that they think work. But sometimes if you read the side effects of these things, it's
the cure should not be worse than the disease.
Amen.
Like I want to cure like rosacea, not harm myself. Or others.
Texas Surplus Pro says, if we really want to get demonetized tonight, mention the current foods that are viewed as healthy, which creates much of the problems that require medication.
I'm not going to engage the food Nazis. Everybody's
it's
got their own opinions about it.
It's bad.
But as long as it looks like reasonably fresh, all you do.
Check your labels, man. There is a lot of companies starting to add genetically modified ingredients to foods. period. That's happening. Check your labels. Check your labels. If you want to stay away from that stuff, you got to look at them in the grocery store. Don't look at them when you're sitting at home. That's when it happens, right?
Tell them again.
That's when it happens.
Now, I figured that if these are in your bougie, like, local supermarket, the non-GMO gluten-free section is like prominently displayed at the very front of the store. It's like
Yeah, it's the first thing you see when you go.
and there's all the weirdos are in there with their masks on with the health food. So,
Ooh, XNYC Prepper says he's having a hip replacement in 3 weeks, getting ready for World War III. It's a good thing to get ready for. Shitty timing on the hip replacement, maybe. I hope everything holds off at least until you're back on your feet, my friend. Jay Creature says GMO is not all bad.
no, because it's going to create a race of mutants who can tolerate it. And there'll be two kinds of people. Again, almost like your purebloods and your other ones. See, now what can happen is they did this in Jurassic Park in the book, not the movie. They made all the dinosaurs dependent on a certain kind of protein that was in their diet. The thinking was if they ever escaped the island, they wouldn't have this protein and they were supposed to die.
Okay.
This is a thing that you could, I suppose, in theory, impose on a human population through GMO. And then if that supply were to dry up, they couldn't thrive because they were genetically modified themselves. Now, I don't know nothing about how this works. I'm talking. That's all I'm doing. But it doesn't sound too far-fetched to me if a guy could dream up that they could do this to dinosaurs. Maybe they could do something of this kind to people through the food that you really don't suspect.
Well, in a way, they're kind of bringing back dinosaurs. I heard that they have taken woolly mammoth DNA.
That's not a dinosaur.
Well, he's damn near a dinosaur. He's pretty old, pretty
Not
extinct.
even close,
Well, prehistoric anyway.
Yeah, I'll give it that. Okay,
But they're bringing back the woolly mammoth.
and why not?
Yeah.
And it's not a velociraptor. I mean, we'll be all right. I'm personally,
It's just a big fuzzy elephant.
You could get a little mini woolly mammoth, and you know what else they can do is because they create now in Jurassic Park. What they did is since they created these life forms, they were extinct, and so then they resurrected them, created them. They weren't their parents; they were their owners, and they had patents instead of birth certificates.
Oh, so maybe if like Dusty says, he says I saw something that they're now considering humans that got the jab no longer Homo sapiens but a different species. Perhaps you are now a product of, or they have altered your DNA in such a way that you are now, a product of, your Pfizer's. You belong to them.
So there's that. Now another,
Right.
whether this is a conspiracy theory or an actual thing, is that this biosynthesis stuff they do with the seeds and the GMO crops. So. The urban legend is that, like, if you're a farmer downwind of one of these things and their strain pollinates your crop,
Correct.
they own
correct.
the patents on it and can take your stuff.
It's actually illegal to not grow GMO corn in some places. They have the patent on it, and they believe that all seed has been tainted, so all seed is theirs, and therefore has to be purchased through them.
Or like a license fee or something.
Yeah, and they tried to play God and say that this stuff wouldn't pollinate other places, yet it did. And now it's a problem. Hunter says glyphosate is what causes celiac. I agree with you 100%. I think folks don't have celiac
It's called
disease.
another word for what that word he said is Roundup.
Roundup, yes, it's what they spray all the wheat with to kill it in a certain amount of time so they can make it easier on the machines when they harvest it.
What I've said to people, and I'm not a doctor, I'm a robot, is you don't have a gluten allergy, you have a weed killer allergy.
Yeah, you have a glyphosate allergy.
As you should, because
And if you can find
it's toxic.
organic
cigarettes.
organic wheat, right? Organic wheat that has not been sprayed with anything. And then you eat some of that and let me know if you guys have problems. If you have, a gluten allergy, I challenge you to try something organic that has not been sprayed with Roundup and killed, something that was allowed to, wheat grows and then it dies naturally. And that process takes a long freaking time for it to mature. And that's something that we can't wait for. So they spray it with the glyphosate. It all dies in a quick amount of time. It keeps the bugs away. And they say it's supposed to just stay on the chaff. It's not supposed to get to the actual wheat inside of it. But, hey man, it's going to get through. It's liquid. You're spraying the shit.
If you want to like lose your appetite for like a long time, dude, like really read into the food industry. And I don't even mean you have to go far. Like, don't go on some conspiracy thing. Look at the FDA's like a list of like allow stuff. This person here was talking about they put bugs and stuff in the food, and since like irritable bowel syndrome and things like this, it's not implausible to think that the food mainstream wise isn't being manipulated already in the same way that, like, let's say pet food or agricultural feed is. I mean,
interesting. Dusty says homoborgenesis is the term. I just looked it up.
For what?
For the new human species that has the vaccine.
Homoborgenesis?
Yeah.
What is that? And that's the people that have it?
Correct.
What
It has altered their DNA that they are now homoborgenesis.
I'd like to know more. I mean, who named him that and who gave that person a job?
Yeah.
But okay.
Unadulterated wheat is difficult to find. Absolutely, Sister Marie's Kitchen. It's something that you may have to grow it yourself. In all honesty, you may have to grow it yourself. You may have to grind your own wheat berries and thresh your own wheat and make your own flour to be able to consume the things that you like, because your body just can't deal with the garbage chemicals that they put in it. Angry says they're Borgs.
Yeah, see, I didn't.
They're Borgs.
I automatically found the name of it corny. Like, that don't sound scientific to me. Like, that sounds like some person named him that.
He says it was a Star Trek fan.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, the Borg were the coolest thing coming down the pike. I didn't want to sound insensitive to their upcoming procedure. Talking about their hip replacement.
Yeah.
What I wanted to muse on, like, that if it were done in a way that was so much less difficult than something like that would be, then imagine a future where you can just go to the doctor at age 60 or whatever and be like, time for tune-up. New hips, knees, they just dropping
It's all
parts
good.
in.
Yeah,
man.
it's all good.
I always thought that it would be interesting to embrace like what the Borg became, but that's different. See, the Borg were enhanced by technology, not some genetic enhancement. The Borg were done through cybernetics. So I again disagree with the name.
Right.
I get the whole "you will be a simulated, do not resist," but yeah, it doesn't make sense when you break it down. Sorry, guys.
Barbie Not Doll says GMO means that you can spray with Roundup and only kill the weeds, not the crop. GMO corn, eh?
And let's not let these GMO projects these organic people off the hook either. They're just letting you pay for a certification.
So what I've noticed is locally, a lot of the old apple trees, the old peach trees. If you know anything about the Hudson Valley, we are like fruit capital of the world. There's vineyards and freaking everything everywhere.
And so why is there organic apple farms next to the throughway? Make it make sense.
Because they like the exhaust from
They don't
the
breathe
cars.
that air.
But they have been cutting down a lot of the older, mature trees.
Well, they stopped producing.
And replanting all new, younger trees. Now, my question is, are these new apples genetically modified for the newer diseases and things like that?
They'll show, you ever see those little markers they put in plots?
Okay.
That's what those numbers are. That's the strain that they...
Interesting.
Legit farms will have that.
Interesting. So something we'll have to pay attention to, guys, is see, like Livingston Man said, the apple trees, after a time, they kind of stop producing as much as they used to. So they're not getting the yield that they want out of these things. And, you get a higher yield out of a younger tree. I totally get it.
Around here, I think twice in my life, I've seen the farmers, they'll bulldoze the whole orchard out.
Oh, yeah.
New ones.
Yeah,
not the
all new
whole thing,
trees.
but they'll do a section,
Yep.
So it's like it's a tree farm, just like any other tree farm.
Yeah. But I guess my question is, are those going to be modified even further than the stuff that we've been consuming for the last, say those apple trees were 20 years old, maybe they're 30 years old.
Now,
They were bred with a certain genes in them to resist certain insects, maybe the ants, maybe, something like that. But the new ones could be the ones that kill off all the bees potentially with their modified flowers and shit, right? Those could be the problem child.
true. I think that, from an economical standpoint, at the farmer's end, GMO is attractive because it can increase yield. It, in some cases,
Resist disease.
And insects.
Yep.
It can, in some cases, do like fast grows where you can maybe get 2 harvests a year, depending on what kind of produce you're talking about.
Okay.
Was the original goal in science's eyes of genetically modified food like this was to increase yield, lower water consumption, make it more productive and, I guess, profitable.
Right.
Now, but you can...
I think these are unintended consequences.
Absolutely, because then, of
Right.
course, dark influences can seep in and start to do things, as we know that, like, in the real world, they just do.
Yeah, or sometimes they're just like I said, unintended consequences, right?
And as always, when you rush out a product and it sounds too good to be true, and then all of a sudden you got to backtrack and say, actually, well, there's some things wrong here.
Yeah.
All the miracle substances of history, from asbestos. Oh my God, it's so great! Like,
it turns out that shit'll kill you.
Radium.
Yeah. Oh man, turns out that shit'll kill you.
Lead paint.
Turns out that shit'll kill you.
Dioxin. Agent Orange.
Turns out that shit'll kill you.
I mean, and every single time we have like this miracle thing that does this cool thing where
it turns out that shit'll kill you.
Yeah.
It's sad but true. It's sad but true, Livingston, man, and it's all too common.
Every time the miracle is always alive, folks.
Unfortunately, got to go with proven track records like cast iron cookware, right? Everything started to go south when everybody started to get rid of their big, heavy kitchen.
Listen, everything went south
Teflon
when, at this point, I'm starting to believe everything just took a turn for the worse when, like, the Roman Empire collapsed. Because, like, past
That's when it started.
Everything became way too complicated. Like you said, if medieval people weren't, like, doing this, like, rethink it. Because the current state of the world at some point is going to leave us in that same position. We are going to be living like medieval peasants with thatched roofs and little gardens outside our house, and you got one pan.
It's true.
And y'all don't have you either eat the plate.
Yeah, or you eat from the pan.
Yeah, you and all your family. Okay, so like let's everybody check our privilege and remember that we're just going to be.
Dustin says that we are living in a movie. Yes, sir. It really does feel that way anymore, and we are actually making a movie that we hope we never have to live in.
Oh, so you think it's big history? So you think they're just banking on like this era, right? They're like, what we'll do is we'll manipulate history and then we'll videotape everybody doing it, and then we'll like it's big history. I like this theory. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Big history. Got to write the sequel, right?
That's right. It's
can't just keep rehashing the past. We need a new story. That's why everything is unprecedented. It's the season finale, folks.
That's right. It does feel like the season finale of the United States, doesn't it? It really, really does.
We get to sit here and watch us talk about it. Thank you guys for that. We done talked about some philosophical stuff tonight.
Oh man, did we? Oh man. Tomorrow, we all gonna die.
If we make it that long.
We all gonna die. There will be I suppose there will be some more news about this potential indictment that has not yet happened, but everybody talks about it like it's definitely gonna maybe.
It's definitely gonna maybe.
The
probably
jury is still out, folks. The jury
potentially
is still out.
happen. Potentially maybe happen.
Totally could.
Totally maybe. We hope. Just come out and say it, okay?
Yeah.
The other thing you got to realize that they do with everything is not only is everything so unprecedented, so
it's
shocking,
sensationalized,
and it is polarizing. You have to stand on one side of it or the other, and
no fence sitters,
Everything is so, for lack of a better way to describe it, black or white.
You got to love them or hate them. There's no middle ground. Got to love them or hate them.
You are black. You are black. You are white. You are red. You are blue. You are the left or you are right. You are one side of the thing.
Yeah.
You have to be.
No, you don't. Don't buy that bullshit, guys.
When media presents it to you this way, question it.
Absolutely. Question everything anymore, man. Everything has its underlying motives. Everything has its nuances and its gimmicks.
Everything is
it's
gray.
gives and its takes, right? Life is give and take.
The gray area is so vast.
It is. It's huge. Eric RV1, thank you so much, my friend. We really appreciate your donation. That was very, very kind of you. We really appreciate it. We're going to put that right into the polar eclipse budget. For those of you who were kind enough to answer my post in the Facebook group and who are going to come out to the polar eclipse filming this coming weekend, I had to cancel it. All those electronics out in the pouring rain, the Livingston man would absolutely just beat me to death. And I don't have the heart to ask everybody else to sit in the rain with us. So we're going to postpone that for, I think I moved the date to the last weekend in April now. So we'll film the season finale last weekend in April. Uh-oh, Livingston man's on it.
Don't tell him.
Oh, it's going down. Good Lord.
I just want a picture. Okay, there we go. Jay Creature. Oh, hold on. Jay Creature asked if, he would want to know what this Stormy Daniels chick looked like.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, you can also, she's done, some adult film work. So,
Yeah.
Trump looking at her like, damn, shorty.
Hey, he's no prize. So I guess you take what you can get.
Yo, you ever see that Marjorie Taylor Greene woman? I feel like she'd be trying to be inappropriate with Trump. She's a little much. She's a little much, old Marge there.
So yeah, we postponed this coming weekend till the end of April. Hopefully we'll have better weather then. I mean, it's tough.
Robert Winslow, Polar Eclipse is a fictional docuseries. If that's a thing, it is now.
Yeah.
You can find the
playlist,
opening installments of that on our webpage here at YouTube.
Yep.
It's got its own playlist.
Yep. It's a post-apocalyptic nuclear survival thing.
Yeah,
after the bombs drop. From the moment the bombs drop to.
Yeah, it is to blow your mind further. It's based on a
fictional series by NY Prepper. Yeah. The Dark Winter. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's a spin-off of that and a whole lot of lore and whatever else to look into. Too much to explain.
It's a cool little series. We're trying to make a mini movie, I guess you would call it. And then perhaps when it's all said and done, we stitch it all together to make one bigger work that will be Operation Polar Eclipse in its whole. XNYC Prepper says, I'll be there. Hopefully, be honored to meet you guys in person. Well, you heal up, man. That's goal number one. There will be future events. I'm in the planning phases for bug out weekends and maybe a bushcraft weekend this year. Prepper yard sales, all of the cool stuff that Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival brings to you guys in person. It's all in the works, guys. It's all in the works. When's the next meetup? I'm not sure.
Never.
I'm not sure.
Mike is exactly the same as you would imagine him to be. I am completely not friendly and shy of everyone. Don't talk to me.
My Mother Spark says, when is the next meetup? I'm not sure. I don't know if I piggyback the video shoot with a bug out weekend, or if we just go and shoot video and do it a separate weekend. I don't know. Eric says, I'll bring some radio gear for your video. I'm assuming it would be want. Super cool, man. Super cool. We'd appreciate that.
We'll keep
everybody posted.
Keep relevant parties posted about how we'll do it. Some logistics will have to be hammered out. I mean, we intend to do professional. It'd be work. It'll be work. None of this drum circle medieval LARPing nonsense, Tom.
Yeah, no, it will definitely be a bunch of work. Patty S says, are you still looking for extras? Hey, if you guys want to come out and lend a hand, we really appreciate it. Check in the Facebook group. That's the best way to know, is to get in the Facebook group and send me a friend request. Send me personally a friend request. That way, because I create the events, it's not through Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, and I don't get to see everybody that I'm not friends with. So I expect to be bombarded with friend requests tonight, but it's all cool. I will accept you, and I'll send you an invite to.
I'm pretty sure my profile says something like, "Don't request me, I'll request you." I'm on there too, so let's see how I do.
Yeah, but soon, man, soon. Spring is coming. I heard the peepers for the very first time this year.
Peepers,
tonight.
there's daffodils, there's all little furry creatures.
Yeah.
I seen this little baby squirrel. He like something must have grabbed him. He only had half a tail.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
it kind of sucks for him. Like, now I'll see how it pans out for him, but that basically means that he can't be doing like squirrel stuff. They use their tail as a counterbalance.
I got a short-tailed squirrel at my house also, and he's been doing okay.
Short, like the hawk, like ate it.
Yeah, like he's only got like half a tail.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird,
Well, we'll see how he does. He wasn't afraid of me.
Eric says my family would love to be extras. Excellent, awesome, man. Send me the Facebook request.
Thanks, Marco.
Marco,
Appreciate it.
That's hilarious.
I think I'm much better looking.
Oh, man.
Donald Trump wishes he could get with this.
Uh-oh. What happened? Mad Shad is on timeout. Uh-oh. Ooh.
I don't get what's
The
happening.
mods be swinging the wrenches. Let him go. I don't know
Say,
what's
did I do it?
going
I didn't do
on. Prepping Mantis says 62 degrees and CT tomorrow. Fantastic.
It was nice
bro.
out today. I got some
Yeah.
color. I got a little bit of color.
Yeah, it was
Sun
almost 60 degrees today here.
I
It was close to that.
I destroyed a patch of like 10-year-old sumacs. You ever see these things? The little ones are like this big.
Yeah,
No.
Little
These
tiny
were
ones.
like 15 years old. They were like full ass trees, man. And then I took them down, I dragged them up the hill, saw them up, pack them up, take them down. But it was good fresh air and sunshine weather. Bugs are starting to come out, and I hate them.
Oh yeah. I had the first bugs on the windshield tonight.
I hate the bugs. Hate the bugs.
Yeah. So a reminder to everybody out there, if you're coming to a bug out bag weekend
You're
or a
gonna be
Hudson
bugs.
Valley prepping and survival event, we do them in the woods, and there are bugs and rocks, and there's broken glass out there and rusty metal, and proper footwear is a good thing to have.
Essential.
Yeah,
It's
all
not a
your
suggestion.
sustainment stuff. Angry Prepper likes to come out and barefoot it. He's into the grounding himself, so he likes to come out and barefoot it. It is a dangerous place to do that, and you do so at your own risk. I will provide Band-Aids and perhaps some irrigation, but you're on your own. Proper footwear.
An essential
Always,
thing. It's the
always.
same way that some folks might say that the tires are the most important part of the car because that's the only
Yeah.
part that touches the ground. Shoes are the same way.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever works for you, but make
Yep.
sure they can, you don't want to get wrecked out there.
Hunter says, remember when my mother spark timed me out? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Whoa, look out. Feuding wrenches. Bram. Prepping Mantis says, check your Walmart clearance aisles for permethrin and Sawyer spray right now.
I fully believe he has steel feet. I see like that cybernetic thing we were talking about. I'm pretty sure the Angry Prepper is quite possibly like 40% like titanium.
Yeah, he's
and
definitely
like
an alloy.
hydraulics. Like there's like hydraulics.
Oh, $100 if Angry Prepper barefoots on Hudson River cow heads. Ow, no
Oh.
way. Oh, good Lord.
Those
Those
things-
things are terrible.
He's like he eats those. He puts those in like milk and eats it for breakfast.
Done some like Oreos.
Yeah.
Marco says, bring cash for the barbecue. Now, I would have to make sure that the barbecue guy is going to be there if you're bringing cash for the barbecue. Donations are always accepted for the Hornet's Nest when we do these events. We put a little pot out for Bob. Bob is the guy who owns the property, and we always like to give back to Bob whenever we can. So we put out a little donation bucket or boot for Bob, and we collect some funds for him. And as a thank you for donating the property to us, he doesn't charge us anything for it. And it's nice for everybody to give back to him. But we don't ask much, $5 a person for the weekend. I feel that's more than adequate.
Sure. I mean,
And
what you can give it.
absolutely, absolutely. And if you're feeling generous, you throw them whatever you guys feel like throwing them. But thank y'all for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you being here. Outlaw says, don't bring eggs.
You're going to have like 8 or 9 dozen eggs.
Yeah, if Steve's cooking, bring the eggs. But yeah, get in touch with us on Facebook. The link should be in the description section below this video. Check us out over there, and you can find all the awesome Hudson Valley prepping and survival events. And there will be plenty of them this year. We just got to get our schedules all together and figured out. But thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate you. Smash that like button if you haven't, guys. And we will see you tomorrow on the We All Gon' Die Wednesday. That's right. Oh, man. Old Mutt just got an 18-volt Ryobi bug zapper. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes!
They got cordless bug zappers now.
Yep.
They should.
It's going to be lit. It's going to be lit.
We are talking about those. I'm going to go buy one at Lowe's tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Have a great night, folks. Stay safe, and we will catch you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Stay safe, guys.